Hi everyone and welcome back to Newegg TV. My name is Paul and today we're going to be doing an unboxing and overview of this flat screen television. This is a 42-inch plasma TV manufactured by LG. The model number is 42PT350 and we're going to be taking it out of the box, showing you everything that comes with it, and then doing a quick Blu-ray playback demonstration. Now, plasma televisions were among the first of the truly flat, high-definition televisions available, and LG has made some significant improvements with this particular model. First off, the 600 Hz refresh rate, and that is true of most plasmas. That refresh rate is really high, and it gives you a really nice, crisp, clear image. It says a true slim frame. Plasma TVs, as compared to LCDs, can be a bit thicker, but LG has made some improvements with the hardware to make that a nice, thin frame as possible. It has Picture Wizard software, which helps with color correction, intelligent sensor, which we'll get into a little bit later, Smart Energy Saving Plus. Another slight drawback to plasmas as compared to LCDs is they do tend to use more energy, but LG is promising that you will use less energy with this plasma as compared to others. And finally, AV mode, which again we'll get into a little bit further on. So that being said, let's go ahead and get this out of the box, so we can take a look at all of the accessories and whatnot that is included. So here is our 42-inch plasma, still in its protective wrapping. And the first thing you want to do if you get a new plasma or flat screen TV of any kind is mount the stand so you can set it up properly. To do that, you want to lay it face down on a flat surface. Make sure not to put any bending or torquing movement on the frame of the television. It's best to have some sort of cushion material underneath. The padding that the television comes in usually works just fine. And I'm just going to lift up the back of it here so we can see where the mounting bracket goes on. So just a moment here while I put the television stand on, and then we can start going over the accessories and features. Alright guys, the plasma television is all set up, so before we turn it on, let's go over all the documentation and accessories. Right here we have not an installation disc. This is a disc with all of the manuals on it in PDF form, so you can view those on your computer if you are so inclined. Here we have the included black and white owner's manual with all of the installation instructions as well as safety information. Here is a registration card, which you want to do to make sure that you register your device and are eligible for the warranty. Here is the full warranty information card, LG Electronics. And here is a child safety material, which you should definitely read if you have children in your home. Next up is the remote control. I'm happy to say that they have included 2 AAA batteries to go along with the remote. But here we can see a pretty standard remote, but it's nice they pretty much have everything in place here. You got a nice big power button up at top. Energy saving and AV mode are available via those 2 buttons right there. Input switching and a TV button. Nice big number pad for entering numbers. These are all lit keys as well. Big channel change and channel change and volume change buttons right there. Also favorite, ratio, mute buttons. Info, quick menu, home, a navigation pad here with an enter button in the middle. Back button, SMP link, exit button. These are favorite buttons right there, and finally your typical play, pause, stop, forward, and reverse buttons down there at the bottom. Next up is our power cord, which is right here, which is why the TV's not on yet. This little bracket here is if you're wall mounting the television and you're not going to use the included stand. You pop that up into the back, it gives you a nice clean edge at the back, and this is a little bit of tape that you can put on there to make sure it stays in place. These are the 2 little baggies that our mounting screws came in. They're nice and clearly labeled with a 1 and a 2, so you know what order to install those. Those are currently being used to hold our stand on. This is a nice little cleaning cloth chamois that they've given. You just use some water in that chamois to keep your TV dust-free and in nice good shape. These are 2 ferrite cores that you can use with the audio or power cables to make sure you're not getting any interference, and there's several methods for installing these demonstrated in the owner's manual right there. Finally, we have a couple cable ties. These you can basically stick to the back of the television with that little plug right there, and then you can wrap it around to make sure you keep your cables tight and secure at the back of the television. So that said, let's move on, get this plugged in, and set up a quick Blu-ray test. Did I say Blu-ray test? I almost forgot to go over the inputs and outputs on the back. That's very important for a television. First off, of course, we have the power plug that's right there in the center in the back. We've already plugged that in. And here is our bank of inputs and outputs. They have several here that are side-facing, which are really handy if you have, if you're planning to wall mount this television, to have those side-mounted inputs and outputs accessible. So here we can see we have a USB input, we have an HDMI input, and we have an AV input all side facing there on the panel. While I'm rotating this TV, I might as well mention that the stand that it comes with can rotate 20 degrees, which we're using right now. Moving on to the main set of inputs here on the back of the television, we can see our antenna, our cable in, so you can go with a direct connection there and use the tuner that's built into the television. Next to that, we have two HD inputs in the form of component ins, green, blue, and red inputs for the video, and then white and red there for the audio. Right above that, we have standard AV RCA input jacks, yellow for the video and white and red for the audio, and that's for standard definition. Over here we have a Toslink optical digital audio out, so you can route that to a home receiver or high definition audio receiver if you have that available. Nice to have that high definition audio. Right here we have a PC input. We have a control or service input that you probably won't use, and finally over here on the left, two more HDMI inputs. And if you have devices that use HDMI, that is almost always your best bet because it carries high definition audio and video in the same cable. Alright guys, so here's a quick video demonstration for you. We're playing back a clip from the popular film Inception. Right now we're viewing at the television's native resolution of 720p, and here we can see the crisp, clear playback that we get from the 600 megahertz refresh rate. The action shots that we've been viewing are nice and clean, and here you can really see one of the great benefits of going with a plasma television, and that is contrast ratio. Plasma TVs do not require a backlight as compared to LCD TVs, which require either a CCFL or an LED backlight. Plasmas have inherent lighting within each plasma pixel. So the contrast between the true black that you see around on the bezel here versus the blacks that you see represented in the film clip, as well as on the letterbox marks down here at the bottom and the top, you'll have a much closer comparison between the true black and the letterbox marks or any other black that you see in the image than you would with an LCD or another type of display. Before we close up, also wanted to show you just real quickly the input and output buttons on the front. These are all touch-sensitive buttons, starting over here with the power button, input, home, enter, volume up and down, channel up and down, and then this little item right here is a light sensor, and that works with the intelligent sensor that we mentioned at the very beginning that we showed you on the box. What it does is it monitors the ambient light in your viewing situation, so if you turn a light on, it's going to brighten the display up and give you a better comparison to the ambient light in your room. If you turn the lights off, it's going to dim the display a little bit, which will save some power, but you won't really notice a difference if you're viewing in a low ambient light situation. Finally, as far as power goes, we had this connected to the kilowatt while we were running our Blu-ray playback tests, and I'm happy to say that the power usage of this plasma was definitely down from some other plasma displays that we've tested in the past that can push up towards the 130 to 150 watt mark. We were getting on average about 90 watts of use while playing back our Blu-ray movie, and it did peak at about 105 to 110, but on average we were only running at about 90 watts, which is very nice for a plasma TV of this size. And that pretty much wraps it up for our unboxing and overview of this 42-inch LG plasma TV. Model is 42PT350. I'm Paul with Newegg TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.